This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk through this 2021 Sunset Trail model 291 RK. Okay, so we'll go around the outside real quick. I'm on the door side, the rear of the trailer, so you can see you've got your switch for your power stabilizer jacks. One switch operates both rear jacks, and the one in the front operates both front jacks, so they're tied together in that sense. You have an outside kitchen here, refrigerator, works on 110 AC. This whole drawer or platform slides out. Keep in mind that this is an LP quick connect fitting to get LP to your grill, and you'll connect it right there at you see the yellow cap on the fitting there. That's the quick connect that you would plug into to get LP. That way the grill draws LP right from the system. Okay, you've got a TV, you've got power, and then you've got TV signal out here, either antenna or satellite or cable, so you can put a TV out here. You have outside speakers, a power awning. Okay, sorry about the camera work, I'm all over the place as usual. Your steps fold right into the trailer. Always make sure you gotta have the door all the way open, so it doesn't hit it when it's folding in. To adjust the length of the legs, to adjust to the terrain, you can pull this pin right out here. There's one on each side, and you can move the legs up and down to whatever length you need them. Okay. You've got a grab handle, of course, and then a tie-off for your dog. That is the front switch. This is we're using our shop cord to plug it in right now. This is your cord. It's a 50 amp cord. Keep in mind that we do give you an adapter too, so you can adapt it down to 30. Okay. This is your hitch. We'll show you how that works when you pick up your trailer. This is a sprayer that plugs into a spray port. This crank right here is for the power tongue jack. Hopefully you can see this. I'm sorry. I can barely see the monitor in this light, and I gotta slow down and think about what I'm doing here. That little crank I showed you can fit in the top of your power tongue jack, and if the power tongue jack was to fail, you can pull this plug out right here and crank it manually. 2 LP tanks, deep cycle marine battery. Okay. This is where your water system is. So basically what you have here is a kill switch for your battery. So that's off, that's on. You don't have to disconnect the cable from the battery when you put it in storage. You just turn it off to save the energy in your battery so it doesn't slowly drain. So you can put it off in storage, you turn it on all other times. City water is where you usually use to get water to the system. You just hook the hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set, ready to go. Now if you happen to go to a campground that does not have plumbing on it, on the campsites, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank, your onboard tank. You pre-fill it by taking this cap off here, filling that, and then using the water pump to pump it. It has a water pump inside the trailer. I'll show you that when we get to it. So either way, if you're camping rustic, you can carry water with you. If you go to some of the older state parks that do not have plumbing on the campsites, but they have a fill station when you first come through the gate, you would stop at the fill station and fill that up, and you still can use all the plumbing just like you have city water. That is a dump hose right there that comes with it. Okay, now speaking of dump hoses, gray tank and black tank dump is right here. So it's kind of hard to see, so let me see if I can get down here and show you which one is which. You have the gray one there, hopefully you can see that. Yes, and then the black one there. So what you do is you always dump the black first, because the black is toilet water and waste. So you dump that first, then you're going to dump the gray, and the gray is it's dirty water, it's sink and shower water, but it's cleaner than the black water obviously, so it just cleans out the hose a bit. Then if you want to, you can come back here and hook your hose here from the dump station on the black tank flush, making sure your valve is open. Your black tank valve should be open. You turn on the water, and it'll flush out your black tank, so it cleans it really, really well. It cleans off the sensors so they don't get clogged up and give you incorrect reading. So it's a good thing to do when you're dumping. If you can flush it, make sure you do it. Your slide out is, just so you know, it's called an AccuSlide. There are different types of slide outs. This one is an AccuSlide, just so you know. Now this has a second gray tank, and that would be right here. This second gray tank, sometimes called a galley tank, but it's basically for your kitchen sink, okay? This is where this is where your 50 amp cord hooks up. Like I showed you, yours is inside the trailer. Cable campground and satellite through. You hook up right there. That's your furnace vent, of course. Your water heater is a new style of Dometic heater. The thing to know, it's drained right now because your trailer's winterized. But there's the drain, and this is the cap for it right here. So, obviously before you fill it, you got to put that cap back on it. Now this works on both gas and electric, and the switches are inside the trailer. Never run it without water in it. That's called dry fire in it, and it'll damage it and it'll have to be repaired. It's not a warranty issue. So always make sure you fill it up before you turn it on. To fill it up, you're just going to, it's in bypass mode right now because it's winterized, but you'll flush the system out. Then you'll change the bypass valves, which are on the back of the water heater. I can't really go into it at this point, but it's something, if you don't know, you may know all this, but if you don't know, you have to educate yourself a bit on it. But you put it into camping mode, turn on your hot water, and when you turn it on, like just say over the sink. You can use any hot water valve you want, but you turn on the hot water in the sink and the air will come squirting out or blowing out, and then you get a combination of air and water, and then solid water eventually. That's when you know the tank is filled, when you get solid water. So never run it without water in it. Okay. This is where that sprayer, that blue sprayer I showed you up front, plugs right there. Now, first of all, you have a backup camera, of course. That backup camera is activated when you turn your running lights on. You can't, with most tow vehicles, you can't use the automatic lights. You have to physically turn the switch to on to activate the camera. Okay. Now, this has a ladder, which is a great thing because one of the most important things you can do as a trailer owner is regularly inspect the roof seals on your trailer. So you know the manufacturer says every 90 days, so you figure 3 times a season, once in the spring, once in the middle of summer, once in the fall. You climb up there or have somebody else do it. You can walk on the roof, no problem. You walk around, you check all the sealant on the roof. Make sure everything's good and tight, no cracks, no separation. And sometime you're going to see some because all trailers have to be touched up. But when you do that, you have it taken care of. If you know how to do it, you can do it yourself. If not, have it done. But it's very, very important to inspect your roof. Okay? That's the most important thing I could tell you as a trailer owner. Some people never do it, and you have to do it because you're protecting your investment. You want your trailer to be bone dry inside all the time, and to do that, you just got to keep after it. You're inspecting it. And just about every time you inspect it, there's going to be nothing to do up there. You're just going to look at it. Okay, so you got peace of mind now. Some days, some years, sometime when you go up there, you're going to see a place that needs attention. So that's why you inspect it. All right, so let's go over here. Starting right here is your furnace and your heat, or what is furnace, fan, and air conditioner. So basically, this is the mode button. Right now we're on heat, but I'll just go. That's off. Then you got fan. The fan is the air conditioner running without the compressor. There's the air conditioner, cool, high, low, and auto. Always run your fan and air conditioner on auto. You do that, you'll never have any problems. There's a lag time. I'll put a heat back on there. There's a lag time of about 6 seconds or so before the air conditioner will kick on, let's say. You got to expect that. That's normal. So just keep in mind it's not instantaneous. Alrighty, so let's get my bearings straight here. Okay, this is your control panel. So up here you can check your levels, right? So the battery is totally charged. Your fresh water tank is empty. Black tank is empty. You just have one black tank on this one, so you just pay attention to the black tank 1 because you don't have 2 toilets in this one. But you do have 2 gray tanks. Gray tank 1, which is the sink and the shower in the bathroom, and then gray tank 2, which is your kitchen sink over there. Okay, so those are all empty. They'll graduate up in 1/3 increments as they fill. They just keep lighting up. Like I said, 1/3. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the black and gray tank. Okay, you got lights. That's your awning light, your interior lights. Your water pump turns on here. If you need to use it, you light the water heater on gas there, electric here. Like I said, make sure there's water in the tank before you do that. And you have tank heaters on this one, so you got basically heating pads on the tanks. And when you turn this on, it'll heat up the tanks a bit. Your holding tanks I'm referring to, freshwater, gray tank, and black tank. And basically what it does is extends your camping season. You can go out earlier, stay out later. You can't go out in the dead of winter, like some people believe, but it just extends it, so you can use it much more in harsher weather than normal. Okay. Your awning switch here, extend and retract. I'll just show you a bit. Try not to get it wet. There it is. It's extending, retracts. It goes out 8 feet. Keep in mind, you never leave it out unattended. If you're leaving the campsite, roll the awning in, because it can get damaged very, very quickly. A lot of pressure can build up underneath from the wind, and so keep in mind, always roll it in. This is your slide out here, in and out. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. You have a fireplace with a remote. Of course, I don't see the remote here. Let me look around. Okay. Well, you do have a remote. I'm sorry. I'll talk you through it without the remote, but it's in here and I'll find it before you pick it up. The trailer up. So basically, you have on and off. This works on 110 AC. You got on and off. You can set the appearance of the flame. You got 2 fan speeds or 3. You got off, low, and high. Normal. So it's a space heater. You got a thermostat on it, so you can set the temperature, plus a timer to make it turn on in the morning before you get up, or whatever you want to do with it. It has a timer also. Okay. Your sound system is AM/FM radio. Obviously, you can stream off this USB stick right here, port for a stick right here. You got Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or your tablet and stream that way. This HDMI is an in, so if you wanted to go into the system with a game machine, let's say, to keep kids busy on a rainy day, you go straight into it there. You got 2 speaker zones, inside and outside, so there's a lot you can do with it. Your TV works like any other TV, of course. Behind it, let's see, this one has a bracket, so it swings out. Let me look around and see here. I see. Okay, so this is where this is your antenna signal booster right here. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. You've got the switch for it right here. You have to turn it on and off, and of course power. You've got your system, the radio antenna and TV antenna, those are all combined into one, so it's powered, and that I showed you where the switch was. Now this is your power converter right here. So what this does, it converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So basically you have regular household type circuit breakers right here, like you would see at home, 110 AC, and they're all labeled. Then the power is converted over to 12 volt DC. On this side you got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. Now if these fuses blow, they actually light up, so you can see them glowing through here, so you would know that a fuse blew. Also, when it's plugged in, it's a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery needs, and it'll send whatever it needs to keep it charged. If it's really low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever. If it's topped off and it just needs to be maintained, it'll just trickle 2 amps up to it. So it always keeps your battery charged. All right. Also, this is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector, right? It sounds like this. Let's go through another self-test here. Okay. Okay, and back to green. That slow beep you just heard, that's a low battery alarm. It's telling you your battery's low. The first beeps were just telling you it's either carbon monoxide or LP gas. Of course, if it goes out, you take everybody outside, shut the gas off, and figure out what's going on, okay? But it should always be green like it is, and if it's not, you get it serviced. Okay. What do we got here? Okay, your cushions pull off of here, you set them aside, and this is a 3-panel fold-out hide-a-bed. They're foam panels. It's a really nice one. It's not like the old hide-a-bed. It's actually comfortable. You got 2 theater seats here, rocker seats. Of course, your table. Always tie. You got straps on here, and always tie the inner legs around the main post. You just do that to keep the chairs from bouncing around. It won't keep them from moving, but they can't really bounce and break a window or do some damage if you hit a crazy bump. More light. So this refrigerator here is a nor cold. It's very simple. You just basically on and off. It's all automatic. So it's a good model. Got a lot of room inside, as you can see. Big freezer. Cabinet isn't what it used to be, let me tell you. Okay, so the microwave works like any other microwave. Your range hood works like any other range hood, like so. Your range itself sparks to light. So basically, you're just going to turn on the gas. Let's say the center one right here. Then you spark it by turning this knob clockwise, and it lights. For the oven, there's a pilot light down here. So all the way in the back there's a pilot light. Let me see if I can spark it so you can see it. Yeah, so you can see it sparking back there. What you do, excuse me, you go to the oven knob, and you go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot light. Then you depress it. You keep it depressed now all through this process. You got it depressed, you keep it that way. You're going to turn this clockwise to spark it. And when the pilot light down there lights, you'll see it light. You still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up, and then you go to operating temperature. So it cycles like a regular oven does, but when you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. This access down here is going to be for your water heater. Just so you know, you take these screws out and you can change the valves on the back of the water heater between, excuse me, between camping mode and winterized mode. Something you'll have to, like I said, if you don't, you may know all this stuff already, I don't know. So, okay, so the main thing about the bathroom, let me find a switch here, right there, is the sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. The toilet, let me see if I can get, I don't have a lot of room here. The flush pedal is right here. So what you're going to do, you see there's antifreeze in it because it's winterized, but when I step on the pedal, the trap opens, and antifreeze flows in, but if you hook up the water, obviously that's going to be water. The black tank is directly below. That's the black tank down there. So when I'm talking about dry, I'm referring to the, people say you don't use a dry toilet, but they're actually referring to the black tank, which is directly below. So normally when you pull into a campground, you're not going to have any water in the black tank. It's already been dumped and flushed, hopefully. So you get to the campground, you hook up your power and water, you come in here, you put your chemical right in the bowl. Whichever brand you use, you put 1 dose in there. Then because you're hooked up to water, you're going to step on the pedal, and water's going to come swirling around, and it'll wash the chemical right down into the black tank there. And you're going to stand on it, so you put about a gallon or so of water in the black tank. There's no way to tell exactly what that is. It doesn't have to be exact. The bottom line is you have to have some water in there and chemical before you start using it. Otherwise, the smell will be overwhelming, and you'll only do it once. So always put water and chemical in it when you're starting off with a dry black tank. If you were going to stay at the same campground and you had to dump your tank, for example, you're going to stay another week, you would dump your black tank, and then you would come back in here and repeat that procedure. Chemical and a gallon or so of water. And you're all set till you dump it next time. This is a GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, no matter, even the one on the outside. So you're always going to reset them inside here if they pop. Okay, you have a 50 amp system. Because of that, the sticker will tell you that this is pre-wired for a second air conditioner. That's why you have a 50 amp system. A lot of people like to add a second AC these days, especially if they spend a lot of time in the south. So to add the second AC, the vent comes off, this garnish comes off, and the air conditioner sits right there. This one, you would not have 2 zones on your thermostat. This one you would use a ceiling assembly, which is the cover on the inside. You'd use the ceiling assembly with controls right on it. So it would, a 13.5 air conditioner, which is pretty typical, that would turn this into an icebox if you wanted to. It would be it would be nice and cool. There's a mounter backer, or I mean a backer board for your TV mount right here, and then you have hookups up here, of course. Emergency window. The emergency window, you push it all the way through like that, and then you grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and then you can exit that way in case of an emergency. Okay, I think that about covers it. There's storage under the bed, of course. So let me look around to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I've got it all. We'll go over, when you come here, they're going to show you how to operate the hitch and that sort of thing. Other than that, we've covered it. Yes. Okay, well, thank you very much for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember what I told you about inspecting your roof every 90 days, 3 times a season? Also check the sealant on the side. Any place you see caulk from the factory, just look at it, especially the corners. Corner areas always seem to be problem areas, so keep your eye on those. And the most important thing is use it a lot. Plan ahead, get your reservations, and do a lot of camping. Thank you very much.